Oh, sorry.
We'd been trying to get pregnant for a little while, and we had gone in for fertility, and I was taking Clomid, which is just something that helps you with ovulating. And we had a couple of months we'd been disappointed because it didn't seem like it was really working, and the doctor had just told me that we would try just one more month, but she wasn't very hopeful and she thought we would need something else. I was really hopeful that the doctor was wrong and maybe that last month would be what would work, and I had been praying for a while about going to healing grounds, and I hadn't really spoken with Brennon about it. So on one Sunday morning I decided, I just felt really strongly that morning that I should go back that evening to healing.
About 6 months, had some pain in my back that was pretty debilitating, especially in the mornings, and I wasn't being able to get out of bed easily. I'd have to wait about 15 minutes in the morning before I could get loose enough to move and get out of bed. I'm a pretty skeptical person, and I'm pretty even-keeled when it comes to my faith and what I think God should be troubled with when it comes to my prayer. I think he has bigger things to worry about than my back giving me a hard time. I decided that I would go with Whitney to support her in having the potential pregnancy prayed over. So I went that night, and she filled out her paperwork before she went in, and I was sort of eating at me for a while, and then finally I said, "Oh, screw it, I'll fill out the paperwork also," and we went in, and we were both prayed over, and the next morning the pain was gone, and it was happening every morning for 6 months, and no matter what I tried, exercises, stretching, rehabilitation, PT, nothing was working, and the next day it was gone, and funnily enough, it has not returned until the day I needed to talk about this to you. Yeah, so it's back now, just wow. Today, yeah, or just last night started. But it's been pretty. It was for someone who's fairly skeptical in a I think a healthy way. It was good to see. It changed the way I looked at things. And
Brennon didn't tell me that his back pain had gone away the next day, and a few weeks later, we actually had friends over. They came over and were going to pray over us, and we shared our story. And that morning, I had actually taken a pregnancy test, and it was negative, so we were really disappointed. And so they came over, had dinner with us, prayed over us. Well, a few days later, I had an appointment to go in to sort of see why it didn't work that month. And that morning, before I went in for that appointment, I thought, well, I'm just going to take one more pregnancy test just to see before I go in. And that pregnancy test did have a really faint line. So I thought it meant nothing, but I woke Brennon up at 5:30 anyway and said, "What is this?" And he said, "Oh, that's too late. Doesn't mean anything.
Call me when you get to the doctor."
Yeah, just call me later. And he went back to sleep for about 4 hours. And so then I went into the doctor and I explained, I said, well, I took a test and it was very faint, but I'm sure it means nothing. And they said, well, if there's any sort of line, that probably means something. So the end of the story was I was pregnant, and our healing prayer did work. And so that was really, really miraculous and wonderful.